Hey guys, it's your boy Rumsey here, back with some good to step up your in-game efficiency and save your precious time and resources. Today I'd like to go over some useful tips for leveling in the Outlands, not just the Outlands, but at any stage of your leveling journey. I'm going to cover some general tips as well as some useful add-ons. My first big tip is to make sure you're utilizing your class's Spirit Form ability. In my case here, I'm utilizing my Paladin's Spirit Form ability to safely navigate the Outlands almost like a rogue stealth, getting from point A to point B safely and without needless interaction from the opposing faction. I'm just trolling though. My first tip starts as soon as you log in the game. You'll presumably be within an inn when you first log in. And there's a very good chance that a mage will also be within that inn. You can simply whisper a mage as soon as you log in and ask for a few stacks of food and water relevant to your level. You can go ahead and do some other preparations like mailing some extra stuff to your bank halts and wait for that mage to make you that precious food and water. A stack of Outlands food or water will set you back around 2 gold per stack, and I find that mages are typically happy to provide this service for just a 1 or 2 gold tip. I personally do this at the beginning of every play session, usually getting around 5 or 6 stacks of water and a few stacks of food as well. But the amount of food you'd like to stack up on is up to you, depending on your playstyle or if you're going to be healing or tanking dungeons. Just don't forget to tip your mage. Considering that vendor food and water was one of Blizzard's first universal gold sinks, the amount of gold you'd save over your career is pretty insane. My next big tip is to make sure you're wearing properly itemized gear for whatever spec that you're taking on the world with. I really can't understate how important it is to have proper gear for whatever spec that you're running. An armory of well itemized greens and blues can make all the difference in your leveling journey, shaving off serious percentages of your slash played per level, especially if you're playing mostly solo or AoE grinding like my Paladin is here. You can see that my Paladin is decked out in mostly greens of the Sorcerer. This grants me spell power and intellect, which makes AoE grinding a breeze. As well as that, you can see I have a thorium shield spike on my shield. You don't need to be a blacksmith to install a thorium shield spike either. As you can see, I'm able to do it on my level 1 bank alt that definitely doesn't have blacksmithing. TLDR, scour the auction house for any well itemized greens that are within your price range. These can make all the difference in your leveling experience and save you a lot of time in the long run. This is especially important around level 58 to 60 when the Outlands greens become available to you. Spending 20 to 30 gold on some well itemized greens before you go through the dark portal can really change your experience in the Outlands. My next big tip is to come prepared with some really good add-ons for your leveling experience. Details Damage Meter and Tiny Threat are probably some of the most important add-ons that you can equip yourself with at any stage of your journey. But even more important than that is the LFG suite. The LFG bulletin board suite is a lot like the retail version of the Looking for Group tool. The LFG suite allows for easier sorting and searching for groups for dungeons without manually having to search through the LFG channel yourself. This add-on provides a lot of really good useful tools for finding a spot in a group or forming a group yourself. There are 4 separate parts to this add-on. There's the LFG group bulletin board, the LFG matchmaker, the LFG sorter, and the LFG filter. Each one of these add-ons can work by themselves and provide different tools and functions, but also work in tandem with one another as well. And as convoluted and complex as this may seem, all of these add-ons are easily downloadable off CurseForge. And I'm sure there's already some really awesome guides out there for you guys to learn everything about these add-ons. If you don't like the bare bones style of this add-on, there's also another option. It's called LFG for Burning Crusade Classic, You can also download it on CurseForge, and it seems to be an all-in-one suite with a user interface that's more similar to the retail version. From what I heard, it's not as complex as this LFG tool, but it does have a user interface that's a little more user-friendly. However, it could be a little clunky and laggy at times. I recommend maybe downloading both of them and seeing which one that you prefer. If there's not already a guide for this, I'll consider making one going over all the specifics and all the things that you can do with these tools. But I'm pretty confident that you guys would be able to grasp all the specifics of these add-ons by yourselves. All in all, I think these add-ons are a great addition to TBC Classic. They might not have been around back in TBC, but they're still probably a pretty welcome addition to the game. There are a ton of other add-ons that will make your experience a lot more enjoyable. Just to go over a few, I'm currently using Bartender. It's a unit frame add-on that I've been using pretty much my whole life. I have no gripes with it, and I think it's pretty nice to use. As well as that, I highly recommend downloading Questy if you haven't already. You could do a lot of really cool things with Questy, like auto turn-ins, auto accepts, and whatnot. Coming prepared will make all the difference in your leveling experience, and using these add-ons, you'll be ready to go as soon as you find the dungeon group, and ready to perform to your maximum capabilities. Even if you're running a DPS spec, it's super fast to find a group with these LFG tools, and I'm sure it's going to save a lot of brain cells in the process. If you guys are enjoying this video and you'd like to see more classic TBC videos, make sure to leave a comment and flame and dislike this video as much as possible. I look forward to hearing your guys' feedback. Hearing what you guys have to say really makes all the difference, and I genuinely appreciate all the support. Before we move on from add-ons, I highly recommend downloading the CurseForge program. Having the desktop program installed makes updating all of your add-ons a breeze. And you guys know how annoying it can be to log in only to find all your add-ons out of date, especially with the current state of the game. As you can see, the LFG for Burning Crusade Classic at the very bottom of the list there is the one that I was not covering, but I definitely recommend giving it a go if you don't like the LFG sorter or the bulletin boards. The CurseForge app makes finding all these add-ons I talked about a breeze, and the installation is as easy as clicking a button. No more unzipping or moving files around. I'm sure a lot of you guys already have this or a similar program, but if you don't already have this, I definitely recommend installing the actual program. And one of my last big tips is to be properly spec'd for whatever playstyle you're going for. There's actually a ton of variations for each class depending on what spec you go for. You can go for AoE or single target builds, and I'm sure I don't need to explain all that to you guys. There's lots of cookie cutter builds online that you can easily follow throughout your leveling process. Whether you follow these cookie cutter specs or you make your own custom specs, be sure to keep your character's goal in mind, whether you're AoE grinding or mostly healing dungeons. Having the proper spec and toolkit for whatever your character's goal is can definitely save those precious brain cells and a lot of time in the long run. As an example, my paladin is pretty much a spell power prot. This allows me to pretty much decimate large packs without going because I focus on spell power and intellect rather than stamina and block. This large pack playstyle would not be possible if I was running a cookie cutter prot build, focusing mainly on block and stamina. Throughout your leveling process, there's a ton of room for variation and experimentation. So go crazy with whatever your heart desires or whatever build that you're aiming for. And with that, I think I'm going to end the video. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, make sure to drop a comment and show some love on this video, so I can continue making more time-saving tips and content for you guys. I'm sure you guys are just as busy as I am in this new old world of the Burning Crusade. Between leveling my mains and my ults, I've been quite time starved, so please be patient if I don't get back to your comments right away. I promise I'll respond to your comments as quick as I can. My guild and I have a lot of really cool things planned for TBC. We were server first in Kara, and we plan to do a lot more server firsts in the future. So I hope to have all of you guys along for the ride. Until next time guys, this has been your boy Rumsey, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.